Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Derek here. We are back reacting to another episode of Marvel's Loki. This is season 1, episode 5. It is called Journey into Mystery. What happened last time on Loki? Last time was an episode of misery. So Loki and Sylvie survived the end of the world and then got taken in by the TVA, and Loki got put through this time loop prison where Lady Sif just kicked him in the nuts 10 times. It was great to see Jamie Alexander back, honestly. She's fantastic. And then, Loki is trying to get Owen Wilson to come to the good side and figure out that the TVA is lying to him, right? And they spend a decent chunk of the episode convincing him and then B-15 that they're on the wrong side of things. And then B-15 comes to her senses and she gets shown what her life was by Sylvie, and it was a beautiful moment and I really liked it. And then Mobius does some investigating. He finds out that C20, Hunter C20, she got pruned because she was telling the truth. At which point he's like, all right, Loki, I'm on your side now. Let's do this. Let's figure stuff out. We got to be careful about this though. And then he gets pruned, and it was just it was devastating, honestly. I would, up until the point where Loki got pruned, I was so upset that he died, and I was like, no. And now he's probably not dead. He probably got sent somewhere into the void or some other space where he goes to. I don't know. And then Loki and Sylvie meet the timekeepers, which are robots, so someone else is controlling them. My current theory is that Kang the Conqueror is he's the big bad, because maybe consolidating things into one singular timeline makes it easier for him to conquer than if it was wild chaos. I don't know. But then, so yeah, they meet the timekeepers, and then Loki gets pruned, and it was not good, and we're like, what the frick? But then they hit us with the first mid-credit scene of the series, and Loki wakes up in some post-apocalypse world, New York, and there's 4 different other versions of Loki there, and you're like, dude, what the frick is going on? So yeah, going forward, Loki is presumably kind of stuck on this world, and he's got to find a way back to Sylvie, and then they can kiss, and it'll still be a little weird, but it'll be fine. And then we got to figure out who is in control. We got to get Mobius back. The gang's got to win somehow. But I'm excited. Before we jump into it, please consider leaving a like on the video. Helps the algorithm out a ton, helps my videos get seen more. Subscribe if you want to see more reactions to Loki, to the final episodes, the final 2 installments of the Fear Street trilogy, other shows that I'm watching. It's a fun time. Consider subscribing. Ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. That's fun too. And then if full-length reactions are something that interests you, consider checking out my Patreon. I post all my reactions full, uncut, in watch-along format, so you just sync up your own copy of the show and watch along with me. There you can also become a super supporter and get featured in all of my videos, like this guy right here. But other than that, I think that's all I gotta say. Let's jump into it. What is this world? So, these are just destroyed buildings. That looked like the Sanctum. That's Avengers Tower. Although, did that say Oscorp on it? What's that weird smoke dimension?
What is this place? Where are we? Who are you?
This is the void. That's Elias. We're his lunch. Come on.
Elias? What the frick is Elias? What the hell is that? Is a smoke dragon. What? Is this where they send them and then that giant smoke thing eats them?
Poor Judge Renslayer. Your whole reality's been destroyed. Tell me, how does it feel to be on the other side of it?
That probably hurts.
I want to know who lied to me.
I don't trust you.
Where every instance of existence collides at the same point and simply stops. Why?
There's a weird smoke dragon there.
Nothing ever comes back from there. I can help you if you trust me.
Why would she trust you? You've been lying this whole time. Pirate ship. Alien spaceship. Yo, that's kind of sick, honestly.
And now I'm surrounded by variants of myself, plus an alligator, which I'm heartbroken to report I didn't even find all that strange. And now I'm running from God knows what, and it's God knows where.
Didn't even find strange.
It's a living tempest that consumes matter and energy. They send entire branched realities here that are devoured in an instant.
We're in a shark tank. Goliath is the shark.
No such thing as an alligator tank.
Besides, it's a better metaphor. He's overly sensitive like the rest of us.
So maybe
Oh,
that happens
man.
to Loki too.
Oh, yes.
I knew it. Well, I might as well go with
Okay,
them.
wait.
I love that the alligator doesn't talk. I wish it did, though.
What was your Nexus event, Your Majesty?
I killed Thor.
What? No way. That's rude. He's like, that's my brother. You can't just kill him. Oh, the Thanos copter. No way. That means there's variants of Thanos. The Thanos copter is from the comics, if you guys don't get that reference. It's wonderful. Bunch of lunch trays. The Mjolnir is there? What the frick? What was that little small thing? There was a guy there. Yo, that's a throne, boy.
So how do we get past the void?
Yes. How do you do that? Prune her.
What about the Void spacecraft?
Yes, the prototype. It's a spaceship designed to withstand the temporal void. It could conceivably take us to the end of time.
Find Loki
Find the man behind the curtain
and kill him.
together.
I still don't trust you, Renslayer. You're playing a bigger part.
Any second now.
Yeah, knew it wasn't real. Well then, that theoretically solves all her problems.
And she's dead too.
She's like, well, shit. She's just going to the void, baby.
Well, at least my Nexus event wasn't eating the wrong neighbor's cat.
That's so funny.
My timeline. Everything proceeded correctly my entire life until Thanos attacked our ship.
So you didn't try to stab him?
Certainly not.
But take no offense, my friends.
Hid as inanimate debris. After I faked my death, I simply drifted in space.
That was a theory people had, that he drifted in space.
Landed on a remote planet and stayed there in isolation, in solitude, for a long, long time.
Then what happened?
I got lonely. To tell you the truth, I miss my brother.
I don't want to give him this news for anybody else.
As soon as I took my first steps to getting off the planet, the TVA arrived. Because we, my friends, have but one part to play. The god of outcasts.
That's sad.
Nothing more.
God of outcasts.
To the god of outcasts.
Have any of you met a woman variant of us?
Sounds terrifying.
Oh, she is.
Sounds terrifying.
I'm gonna kill Elias, and I could use all the help I can get.
None of them are in. Absolutely none of them will join you. Guy sounds like Austin Powers for a second. Yeah, baby. Watch her already be there. What's up, Sylvie? Oh, never mind. Is that President Loki? Mobius is here somewhere too, right? Or is he in his own little world? Actually, he's probably, like, this isn't just Loki place, right? They're just the ones that typically survive. This theoretically is where everything goes. Yo, purple smoke of death? What did you just do? Did she just... Did she just get in the smoke monster's head? This is Mobius in the car, right? Because this is shot from the trailer. Yo, I've never been able to reach that far to open that door.
Can you shut the door? We still got a little bit of a
Yo,
situation
buddy,
here.
what's up?
By the way, you should be careful just jumping into a stranger's car like that.
Is this Pizza Planet?
Watch out!
I see it. I see it.
Really, because you're driving right towards it.
But you really are one of you. Hang on.
The pyramids and the Sphinx. Is that Stonehenge back there? President Loki. What's up, brother? What did you expect?
About that. You can't be serious. Come on.
What did you expect?
About that. Beef-witted, half-faced scrubs. We had a deal.
He's just watching all of them turn on each other. Like, are you kidding me? Why the hell is there an alligator in here? Oh, he ate his hand. Just... They're all Lokis, and I love it. He's just trying to avoid the fight. He's like, it's time to leave.
We lie and we cheat. We cut the throats of every person who trusts us under what? Power. Glorious power. Glorious purpose. Approaching Elias is a death sentence. We'll get you to it, but that's as far as we
Approach his friends. Be like, what's up? Hello, giant smoke monster. How you doing? I come in peace.
You hunted me like a dog.
Sorry about that.
Oh, wow, apologizing is the first step.
And turn around.
And you drive right back into the smoke.
Back to the angry cloud.
Yeah. I think it might be the answer.
They both have the same idea. Let's just drive to the cloud and greet it as an old friend. True.
See? He's on board.
He's praying. Thinks we're going to die.
He's praying. Giant boat. What's up? USS Eldridge. They're gonna try and fight the giant smoke with a battleship. Oh, that just does not look good. Awkward, yep.
Okay. Maybe we think a bit more about this, huh?
Yep. Sylvie rolls up in a pizza car. Mobius there too. Oh, it's got to be such a good moment for him.
Mobius. How did you... Us as a child, us in the future, and us as an alligator. It's best not to question it.
Kill it?
Yes, we're gonna kill Goliath.
Oh my god, that was your plan.
She's like, you're so dumb.
I'm gonna chance it.
Interesting. Don't you have to make physical contact?
She's pretty confident.
She is very confident. Does this thing have a complicated mind, or is it stupid? Also, she has to make physical contact, so, you know, what's the deal?
This isn't about protecting the TVA at all, is it?
It's about protecting her boyfriend, Kang the Conqueror.
You only want it. She needs it.
Ooh. True facts.
Whoever created this place is in danger. I need to find them.
Okay, right away, May.
Maybe she doesn't know Kang yet, but she's gonna meet him and fall in love.
So just like that, you're turning on the very thing you devoted your life to.
It's never too late to change.
True facts.
They know what we're doing.
It's cold.
Well, damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
Ooh, cuddle.
I don't mean that it wasn't, a nice moment.
No, it was great. It was really nice. It was great.
It just sounds like another TVA lie.
100%. Totally.
No, come on. You guys are in love, clearly.
Do not do this.
I don't even know what we're doing.
I don't have friends.
Or boyfriends.
I don't have
Come on.
anyone.
Well, now you have him. That's cute. Cuddle. Lean on him. Rest your head on his shoulder.
I betrayed everyone who ever loved me. I betrayed my father, my brother, my home. I know what I did, and I know why I did it. And that's not who I am anymore. Maybe we can figure it out
Together.
together.
What the heck are these things? They little birds that tell the smoke monster where things are? That's probably some Marvel deep cut that I don't know about. Alright, so crossing this little death zone, that's Thanos' ship over there.
Loki, you're gonna need this on your journey.
A
Go on.
golden dagger. That's the dagger he used to kill Thor. That's a full-on sword. It's a short sword, but it's still a sword.
What will you do at the TVA? Burn it to the ground.
Hell yeah, boy. Give him a hug. Come on. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug. Hell yes. Top shelf, baby. Let's go.
Thank you, my friend. You're my favorite.
Oh, thank God that he's alive, though. Is he gonna turn around and help? Because he's gonna take Mobius's words to heart of it's never too late to change. Oh, that's a shot from the trailer too that just didn't have Sylvie in it. There's probably so many Easter eggs in this episode. That's a flaming sword! That is sick. Oh, it's looking at her though. No. Don't eat her. That's very bad juju. What just dropped in? That's a whole goddamn... Oh no, it's him. He's conjuring things. Yes. Is he conjuring Asgard? Dude. Sick. I knew he would come back. Yo, that's lit. He's gonna see Asgard destroyed again. And he made a point earlier about how he doesn't use the knives because they stifle your magic. Yes, hand holding. Let's go. Together.
You do! Because we're the same!
I mean, logistically though, how does he do it? He's like, that's great, but I need some action steps. He's just kind of learning on the fly, like when you throw a kid into the deep end of the pool. Don't eat him, please. Kid Loki, did you learn how to drive? Pull up in that pizza car. Oh no. I don't want him to die. I guess if you're gonna have any sort of glorious purpose, this will be it. Oh, that's a bummer. I liked him. Green eyes. What did we learn? New power unlocked. New branch on the skill tree to put points into. So it's a mansion. Is this where He Who Remains lives? God dang, man. Is that it? Is there anything after this? Okay, well, that episode, while not as like mind-blowing and like crazy, like what the F is happening as last episode, this one was exhilarating. Just like, I feel like as soon as the moment from where all the Lokis like betrayed each other, from that on was just like, I feel like I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. So we start off with Loki, like pretty much the same point that we left off at the credit scene last time, where Loki is with these other Lokis and he's like, what the frick? And in the background is this giant purple smoke dragon thing that's just like eating things, and they're like, all right, we need to go. We're not gonna deal with that thing. It'll eat us. And we just have some nice like fish out of water moments from Loki. You know, kind of similar to, you know, it gives off slightly the same vibe as like when Loki first came to the TVA, where he's just like kind of confused. He's like, what is this place? And the little kid is like, shut the F up. If you keep yelling, he's gonna come eat us. And it's like, they have to explain to him, yes, this is an alligator and it's Loki. And he's like, okay, like for some reason I'm not even concerned about that, and that's upsetting. He's mad that that the alligator Loki is not that concerning to him. Like, he doesn't find it weird, and it kind of upsets him. Like, he's like, I should find that weird, and the fact that I don't pisses me off. But no, so like, this is the place where all of the things that get pruned get sent here, right? So, like, because they can't prune the whole realities of things, they prune the affected things, and they can't get rid of them, so they just send them to this like end of time space, right? Like the space where their propaganda says that, you know, time is still being untangled, but really this is the spot where all the stuff they don't want, whoever is in charge, I still think it's Kang, whoever is in charge sends all the stuff that doesn't fit, they send it here, and this smoke demon eats it, and somehow that thing has the power to just like get rid of them, like, completely. But there was lots of cool Easter eggs in this. That's not is that Throg? T365? That's not Throg, that's it might be. It's a small, it looks like a frog, or it looks like, almost looks like, it's not Beta Ray Bill, but it's like a small version of Thor. And his hammer's there, and he's just like, can't get through. Lots of lunch trays there. But there's so many, like, there's probably so many like Easter eggs. New Rockstars is gonna have a freaking field day with this episode. There's the Thanos copter, which is so funny because they took in the Infinity Saga, in the movies they made Thanos this badass, like, total just destroy you type character, and he kind of is in the comics, but there's also this like weird whimsical side of Thanos in the comics, where in some of his fights with like the Fantastic Four, he arrives in a helicopter that has like, it like says Thanos on it, and it's literally called the Thanos copter, and it's so funny that they put that into this. And he's just, the backgrounds are just full of things, you know, there's pyramids, there's you know, Thanos' spaceship, there's Avengers Tower, there's the Sanctum, and it's just like, he is just so confused in this spot. He's like, what is going on? And they're like, all right, well, just come hang out with us for a little bit. Meanwhile, Sylvie is trying to get some info out of Renslayer, and Renslayer is pretty much just stalling. She's like, yeah, totally, we'll work together, we'll figure it out. And we're not quite sure, like, how much of this does Renslayer believe? Like, is she actually confused about what's going on? Because she probably feels, unless she knows what's behind it secretly and is just pretending like she doesn't, presumably, I mean, I think she maybe doesn't know, because she talked to Miss Minutes like she didn't know. She's like, I have to figure out who created this because they're in danger. So maybe she doesn't know, and she's feeling a little betrayed by the TVA, but she's still like, this is all she knows, and she's been given this position of power, and she probably enjoys it. So she's like, I can't let this like go away, because like, even though she is realizing that it's all a lie, she's still been indoctrinated by their like purpose, and she thinks they're still important. So she's like, until we figure out what's going on, you know, B-15, you're staying in jail, and you know, we need stability. And she's, you know, she's playing Sylvie a bit, where she's like, we're gonna find out what's going on. I don't know how she signaled those other people, but she did. And Sylvie is just like, you know what? I mean, first Renslayer kind of explains stuff. She's like, we don't kill you. We just send you somewhere, and then nothing ever comes back from there. So Sylvie is somewhat confident that if she prunes herself there, she's not gonna die. So she's like, you know what? Boom! And it's like, yes, Sylvie, like, top shelf, like, great. And, you know, Renslayer, in that moment, she's like, well, shit, I guess that solves one problem. Because she's like, she doesn't expect them to be able to come back from that, because nothing ever has. And then we get to this nice scene in a bowling alley. It's like a downhill bowling alley. It's a weird bowling alley. I'm guessing the lanes collapsed at some point, because otherwise that's just weird that they would structure bowling like that. And we get a little bit of background on the different Lokis. So like the boastful Loki, he claims that he got all 6 Infinity Stones, and the alligator's like, "You're a liar." He bites him because he's like, "At least my Nexus event wasn't eating the wrong cat." It's like, yo, that's funny. And then, you know, Kid Loki, sorry, he killed Thor. That was his Nexus event. He actually killed his brother. That's insane, first of all. Like, Loki being able to kill Thor in general is crazy, but the fact that he did it when they were kids, maybe that would make it easier. I don't know. And then old age Loki. So he is pretty much the Loki that we know. Like, he is the closest thing pretty much to the Loki that we know. Like, our Loki that got killed by Thanos, he is, you know, maybe even closer to who that person is than the Loki that we're following in this show, right? Because he went through that whole process, but instead of trying to stab Thanos, he hid himself as an inanimate object. You know, I mean, that's the one major difference is, like, in the Infinity War movie, our Loki wasn't a coward, and he went through with trying to save the day, and he got killed for it. This one was a coward, and he hid, and then he ran away to some other planet, and, you know, the TVA was fine with him doing that, because they're like, you know what, your story, like, your involvement in everything ends at this point, so, like, if you go off and live on your own on some desolate planet, like, who cares? No one cares. But as soon as he was like, all right, I'm going to try and get involved in things again, that's when they took him. So he's lived this whole time, you know, dealing with the fact that he turned his back on the people that he loves at the last second and survived, because that's what Lokis do. They survive. He's had years and years and years. And Grant, he's an old man. So, like, Thor and Loki in the MCU, they're like, what, a couple thousand years old at this point, right? And they're in, like, their 30s. Like, how many thousands of years did he just chill alone on this planet? / how long has he been in the void? Because he's an old man now. So he's had plenty of time to, like, think back on the fact that he kind of betrayed the people that he loves at the last second, and was, you know, pruned for trying to rejoin, which I think informs his decision at the end of the episode. Ooh, and then, okay, so then Sylvie shows up, and right away the smoke monster's like, "I'm gonna eat you." She's like, she enchants it for a second. I wonder what she saw there. Okay, so yeah, we see a shot from the trailer where that, like, weird rock thing was. We see the mansion on it, up in the tower. So she just sees a tower with a glowing thing on it. So, like, presumably that mansion that they saw at the end, they have to make their way up to the glowing tower, which is where either, like, Kang the Conqueror is, or He Who Remains, who in the comics is the one that created the TVA. So I guess we'll find out there. But as she's running from the smoke monster, Mobius shows up in a pizza car. He's just like, "What's up?" Should have said "ka-chow." That would have been great. Just like, "ka-chow." Or if they would have drifted, because he knows how to do that from his time in the movie Cars. That would have been hilarious. But yeah, so Loki, he gets, the group of Lokis gets betrayed by boastful Loki, who brought President Loki and all these, like, savage versions of Loki there. So, like, President Loki has seemingly cultivated this army, right? And I guess I guess the kid Loki is like the king of this world, like of this void world. Like they have proclaimed him king because he was the one that killed Thor. And they, I guess at this point, have decided that like they're gonna backstab and try and get the throne. Boastful Loki is like, he's thinking he's gonna get the throne. He's like, dude, I helped you, I get the throne, you get whatever, like you get to kill the kid. And then President Loki's like, dude, why wouldn't I just take the throne? And then all his people turn on him, and then the alligator bites his hand off. Like, freaking love it. And then it's just like this mad scramble of fighting where our Loki, after watching it, like, dude, guys, come on. He's just trying to avoid it. At which point, you know, Kid Loki, Gator Loki, Classic Loki, and our Loki escape. And we have a moment where old man Loki, he says something like, you know, oh, we're always betraying each other, always backstabbing people we trust or whatever. For what? Like he's had plenty of time to think on it and be like, what's the point? Like power? Like glorious purpose? Like what is the, why do we do this? Like he thinks it's so dumb, all the stuff that they care about. And it is, rightfully so. And then they're like, but let's go kill this smoke dragon. And they see this ship appear, and the thing just destroys it, like melts these people. And they're like, okay, well, maybe we should think on this again. It's just so funny. Meanwhile, then Sylvie and Mobius pull up, and they're like, hey, let's go. We're in it to win it. And then there was just like a section of time where there was just some nice, quiet conversations. Mobius gets to have some conversations with a couple of the Lokis where they're like, you know, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I'm going to tell people the truth, and then we'll see what happens. And he utters a line that I think old man Loki took to heart, where he says, it's never too late to change. Because, you know, he has lived his entire life as a coward, pretty much. Like after he ran away from Thanos and hid, like he was just a coward for so long, and the reason he was going to come back was not to like right his wrongs. He was just lonely and missed his brother and wanted to see if anyone missed him too. Like he wasn't coming back for necessarily the right reasons, I guess. I mean, it's not the wrong reasons, but like, you know. And Mobius is like, you know, it's never too late to change and be someone good. And like he told our Loki last time, you can be whatever you want. You could be good. And he's kind of telling them that as well, which is really nice. I like that. And then we have a nice moment with Sylvie and Loki where they're not like, they're kind of sharing their feelings and like cuddling a little bit, but not actually doing it. They're not saying what this is. And it's like they're kind of like taking a step back. So like last episode, he was willing to be like explain his feelings, or at least try to. This time they're kind of almost like taking a step back because it's a little awkward and they don't know how to do this, where they're like, no, it was a lie. Like, oh, whatever, Mobius's theory that we're in love, it's not true. They're both trying to deny their feelings for each other, and it's not working because they're clearly in love. But he's like, you know, I'm in it to win it. Like in terms of going with her, he's like, I'm not gonna betray you. Like I've betrayed everyone in my life, and look where it's gotten me. I'm not gonna do that to you. And I think that's great. I think that's a cute little moment. And he's like, what are you gonna do if we can't find them? Like, because up to this point, her entire purpose as a person has been to get revenge on the Timekeepers. Like that, she's had no meaningful connections outside of that, and I guess he hasn't either. So like that's why he cares about her so much and her plan. It's because they've both finally found something that's real. Like the only other like real connection, I guess you could say, that he's had is with Thor. But he technically hasn't even had that. Like he hasn't lived that experience of like bonding with Thor and Thor telling him he loves him and his dad telling him he loves him. he just saw it on film. So that, like, with Sylvie, this is the first real connection he's had. So he's like, this is the one thing I care about, other than his mom. He's like, this is the thing I care about, and I'm not gonna betray you. And the one thing she cares about is getting revenge on the Timekeeper, because nothing else matters to her until, that is, she finds him, and now she has a connection with him. So it's like, those are the only things that matter to her, is getting revenge on whoever deemed her life not important, and, sticking with him. And they're going to do it together. And if they can't figure it out at the end and there's nothing left and they just have a world, that he could rule, he's like, I'll finally be happy. Like, clearly being sarcastic. He's like, they're pretty much insinuating, like, whatever it comes down to at the end, I want to do it with you. And I think that's just really cute. Mobius, he gets the temp pad. He's going back to the TVA to burn it down. Yes. He's like, I'm going to just ruin everything. Like, he's got to let him know what's going on. Kid Loki gives him a dagger, like a golden short sword, which lights on fire. Like, that thing's sick. And old man Loki's like, I hope you find what you're looking for. But he kind of looks back, and in that moment I was like, he's coming back to help him. Like, he's not gonna run away. And then they go to challenge the smoke demon, and she's like, you can enchant things too. Like, you can do it. And he's like, how? And she's like, you're the same as me. It works. It's like, no, he needs some actual action steps. Like, it's not just the power of belief. But, in the end, it was the power of belief. And it almost wasn't going to work. She was going to get eaten. And then, like I called, old man Loki, classic Loki, conjures all of Asgard. He's like, yeah! And that was his glorious purpose, to make up for the wrongs that he couldn't right previously. Like, when he ran away from sacrificing himself previously, this is the moment where he gets to make good and sacrifice himself for the greater good. And this smoke demon eats him, which was, we only had him for one episode, but that was honestly, like, sad. It was tough to see. And then, Sylvie and Loki enchant the monster. Some new skill tree unlocked for our Loki. He can now put points and into those attributes, unlock some new abilities. Pretty sick nasty. And the smoke clears, and that weird mansion thing is there with its glowing tower. So presumably they can walk there. In the trailer shot, it looked like it was just kind of like a floating piece of land. Maybe that giant piece of land was the floating piece of land is this area. I don't know. But there is some trailer shots of them, like, walking up to a mansion-esque door, which has, like, yellowy orangey cracks all around it, and there's a fight scene at some point in there. So I'm excited to figure out what that is. And I'm excited that they're doing it together and they're holding hands, and it's cute. And I don't know. This episode was definitely like a setup episode for next episode, but it was still crazy, and things were, like, exhilarating and exciting, had me on the edge of my seat. Like, there were heartfelt moments. Like, I enjoyed this episode a lot. And, whereas last episode, I think a lot of people were expecting us to, like, get to the Timekeepers, and then it was gonna, like, cut, and, like, we weren't gonna see the progression of that little ending sequence. Whereas last time we did see the progression of that ending sequence. I think this one is like, no, we're gonna cut it here, and then next week is gonna be insane in the membrane, insane. Next week is the finale, which is kind of crazy. I'm pumped. I really enjoy this show. Like, this show is so different from WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, those definitely set things up in the future, but, like, this show is one where like anything can happen. Like the things that they are setting up are so grand in scale. Like, you know, that weird smoke monster, maybe he's like a cousin of Galactus, or like a friend, a pet dog of Galactus. I don't know, because it kind of did remind me of Galactus in a sense, where Galactus like eats whole planets. This thing like eats matter, or you know, things like it's Galactus-esque, a Galactus adjacent in attributes. I don't know. And it kind of reminded me of Galactus from the Fantastic Four movies, where it was literally just a giant smoke monster. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I really enjoy the bond that these two characters have, Sylvie and Loki, and I enjoyed seeing the increased depth of character in the other Lokis as well, like just seeing the different sides of them and how they act, and then seeing them being willing to grow as well. I like that a lot. I'm glad that Mobius is not dead, and he's going back to the TVA with a vengeance, and he's just gonna tear some stuff up. Plus, he probably has some newfound confidence that like if he gets pruned again, he's just gonna come back here. And he's like, well, we'll see what happens. You know, he's just got to make sure he grabs a new temp pad every time before he gets pruned again. So he can come here. Because we have confirmation that the temp pad will get pruned with him and carry over, because Sylvie had one and she got pruned, and that's where he got the temp pad. So like, as long as he brings a temp pad with him and it doesn't break, he could just like keep fighting. Like, he could fight people, and even if he loses and they prune him, he can just open the door back up and just walk back in, be like, what's up? It would be like Doctor Strange and Dormammu, where like they prune him, opens back up the door, I've come to bargain. And he will just tear this place down. He's gonna probably free B-15. Glad that she's not dead. Yeah, next week should be an exciting finale. I'm pumped. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this episode down below. Start a conversation. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like on the video. Helps the algorithm out a ton. Helps my videos get seen more. It's just very beneficial to me. Subscribe if you want to see more reactions to the season finale of Loki, to the Fear Street trilogy, to anything else I'm watching, and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if full-length reactions are something that interests you, consider checking out my Patreon. I post all my reactions in watch-along format for you to peruse at your will. And there you can also become a super supporter and get featured in all of my videos, like this man's right here. But yeah, other than that, thank you for watching. I love you. And I will catch you next week for the season finale of Loki. Peace.